theory, but you know, they'll tell you there's all they will do anything to hurt the program, to hurt your agenda, what you're trying to get done. And so on Thursday, a couple of our representatives told the story. They thought that they were voting on a bill, and one of the Democrats stood up and said, yeah, well, we're going to make some property tax relief amendment. There's a nice little amendment. Just gives us more money to local communities. Everybody said, oh, yeah, that means we can raise taxes and we'll get money back to the community. Sure. And then they started asking questions about it, and they weren't entirely, well, kind of they said they were rather coy about their answers, and it turns out that they actually were gutting the entire plan that they worked on, and just what the rest of the legislature thought they were actually voting on. These people actually do anything to make an affront to the agenda and to make government decisions. And they've been doing this for a long, very long time. When Governor Brownback and I started going around the state, and we decided that what we want to try to do is give people 5 measurable goals or outcomes that we have, so that you see whether or not we're actually achieving what you want. And those 5 goals were net private sector jobs. Now this is after the last decade, the boomiest of boom years in our entire lives, years between 2000 and 2010. Even when you take out the recession, Kansas, when the rest of the United States was growing leaps and bounds, Kansas actually lost private sector jobs. In the best years of the last 2 centuries, we lost jobs. You can't go down that same road. The second thing the governor said is we need to make sure that there's more
recession-inducing drugs or face punishing fines that will drive them right out of business. Now, for the czars and the bureaucrats that have been appointed over us, church rights mean nothing. Individual rights count for nothing. Parental rights don't mean anything. And the constitutional restraints upon the exercise of federal power count for nothing. This is not what the American Republic is all about. Now, we Kansans have a tradition of standing up for all rights and the rights of others, even when it was unpopular and even when it was dangerous. It's not for nothing that they call it the bleeding of Kansas. We have an obligation to pass on to our children and our grandchildren what we've gotten from our parents and from our grandparents. A free state. A free state that helped to save the Union. A free state that stands up for and protects the rights of all of its people. And a free state that will tell the federal government that it has no powers beyond those listed in the Constitution. We need a government in Topeka that understands that it is not a branch office of Washington, D.C. We need a state government that understands its obligations under the Constitution to protect its people. We need a state government that will reduce the burden on the taxpayer. We need a state government that will help set the conditions for an economic revival for Kansas and for Leavenworth. An economic revival that will lift us out of the economic doldrums that we're in and restore the rise in prosperity that once was ours. We do not need more government programs. We don't need any more government regulations. What we need is more businesses with jobs, more citizens with paychecks so they can take care of their families. Every dollar that the government takes is a dollar that you do not have to spend on your family, to give to your charities, to invest in your future. It's a dollar that you don't have to save for your retirement. Every dollar the government takes makes you more and more dependent upon government programs as they dole back your dollars to you with all of the conditions that go with it. We Americans, you and I and our parents, created the greatest economy this world has ever seen. And now the government needs to stand back and let us do what we have always done. Build thriving businesses, strong families, and strong communities. Those are not the result of government programs. Those are the result of Americans doing what comes naturally, what we've always done. Government cannot tax us and regulate us and spend for us and turn it into prosperity. It won't happen. But it can protect, and it should protect, our right to earn and enjoy our own prosperity. That's the proper role of government. This election is about the cost and the role of government. I say it should be a lot cheaper. And I say it should be a lot smaller. I'm proud to be a Kansan. I'm proud to call Leavenworth my home. And I believe that Kansas can lead our great nation back to freedom, back to prosperity, and back to sanity. And I believe Kansas will. And that's why I'm announcing my candidacy for the Kansas Senate, so that I can represent and work for the people of Leavenworth and the free state of Kansas. And that's why I humbly ask for your support and for your prayers. May God bless us. May God bless Kansas. And may God bless these United States of America, and with God's help, may we deserve those blessings. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But while you're losing that deduction, instead of being at a 6% rate, you're going to be at a 4% or 4.5%. And so what you're doing is you're making it much simpler. And in fact, you're going to end up with about the same tax rate overall with almost most states. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this is about 70% of Kansans don't file an itemized tax form, so they're not taking advantage of the 6%. Those people are automatically going to see their rates. We're also looking at how are we going to assist you. Let's try to do this in a way that's not using the tax code for our social engineering. Let's use the tax code to grow our economy. And if we can do that, if we start down this road, we can get us down to a 4.5% rate. I think it's one of the lowest in the region, and really start seeing us on the march down without breaking the bank. And that's what we're after. And so we're going to need your help. We're starting to see lots of representatives, lots of senators really want to come on, but the pressure is on because there are all sorts of special interests out there that are starting to say, well, if I can put this thing and that little thing and I can put it in the tax code, we can do this. That the way that we grow the state is to make government bigger. There's still Republicans and Democrats that believe that. And people don't know that's not the case. We've got to grow our company. It's the private sector we know. So we're going to need your help as we go out there. And the government's going to make a big push on it. Another big push is we've got to deal with the big problems in our state budget. You know, we have a school finance plan, okay, that is 20 years old, has been litigated and in the courts over the last 20 years. And guess what? The last time that we were in court over the school finance plan, we lost. And the Supreme Court said, you're going to have to put billions of dollars in, or we will close down the school. And guess what? We did put a lot more money in, and guess what? We still have 26% of third graders who are not proficient at reading. It didn't succeed. So let's get rid of the insanity. Let's go and have a decision that your legislature can make a decision on how that money is distributed and how it is spent. Now, there's a lot of people out there trying to say, well, you know, we should wait on this. We've been waiting for 20 years. It's been litigated several times and we lost. And guess what? There is a court date being set for this summer to hear it again. So do we want to have the courts running our schools once again, or do we want to have the legislature making the decisions of how we fund our schools? That's what this is about. And so we're going to be spending our effort doing this. So when people say, let's think about it once again, what they're telling you is, I want the courts to you need to think very hard about that. That is not in the interest of running by the administration. The third big issue that's driving our budget crazy is Medicaid. Medicaid has been growing by leaps and bounds, literally growing at 8.5% rate over the last year. And what we call Obamacare in this is doing things up. If you go and look at it, what we're saying on Medicaid, we're spending $500 million more now than we were just a few years ago. So when you think about where is my taxes going, or where's my education fund going, and all that, we look no further than Medicaid. Now the problem with Medicaid was just running amok. There's been 5 different cabinet agencies that didn't do anything that coordinated. Wasn't looking at getting people well. And so what we're doing is we're reforming Medicaid so we give everybody free choices. Right now they don't have a choice. They get the same sort of thing that gives people choices and provide incentives for wellness. To make sure that people stay in their homes instead of being in nursing homes, which is much more expensive. You know, right now, Kansas has twice as many people in nursing homes as we do in most other states. Why is that? Because the bureaucracy is been running amok. And so we've got to go and get that together and get that working so we can start focusing on outcomes. And then what we're doing is, and we have several other states that are following us. In fact, they even stole our Medicaid direction from us. Arkansas hired it. One of the things we did is we said, okay, we're going to bring insurance companies, the same ones that you all have, we're going to let them manage this health plan. But we're going to make them expensive. We're going to hold back $500 million over the next 5 years. And we're going to say, you don't get the money unless you start seeing out that the improvements in health care, that people with mental disabilities actually get the care they need. They have mental health problems that they actually get the drugs and treatment that they need, and on and on. And for the first time, we're a real leader in enforcing results. And we're going to be doing it. And trying to get outcomes instead of just letting the bureaucracy run on. So as we're continuing down this road, we're going to have to get a budget. And the budget, the governor put it together. We went from a $500 million deficit last year to this year, we're required by law to have a 7.5% in balance. And we're going to go from $500 million deficit to about a $420 million positive. That's 7.5% in balance. And I want you to know, we've done that in the sky didn't fall. It didn't fall. And one of the other interesting things is suddenly, in the last year, Kansas now listed in the Wall Street Journal as one of the 10 best managed states in the United States of America. But we got a lot to do. The next 6 weeks is really crazy. The other issue that kind of floats in this is the idea of reapportionment, how we apportion our senators and their representatives. And the governor looked at this, and one of the things that came out, and there was hearings here in Leavenworth and across the state, and one of the things that came out was Leavenworth now has more than enough people in order to have its own senators. Now, right now, you're represented by 2 Democrats. Ooh, yeah. And so, you're not represented, exactly. So, the governor today has stated that the last governor, during a reapportionment, he vetoed Senate Act. But they didn't tell me why they were going to do that. What Governor Brown emphasized is we think that Leavenworth deserves its own state senate. And we think that's the only way. And so that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a fight. That's going to be one of those little things where they're going to try to, twist everything at the very end in order to deal with it. And so you're going to have to be on your toes. You've got to be vocal about it. You've got a couple of great candidates here who I think could win the city thing. But I still think Leavenworth deserves something. And so we're going to need your help. We need you to speak out and talk to people. Talk to legislators. Why it is important that somebody from your community represents you. So we've got a lot to do over the next few weeks. And there's going to be a lot of things that are going to try to drag us out. Yeah, but we can get there. Last weekend was President's Day weekend. And what happens on President's Day weekend? At the White House, Barack Obama goes out on the South Portico and sees his shadow there for a moment of the session. And unfortunately, we saw his shadow last week. So that means we've got to get busy. We have an election coming. And that election is very, very important. The election is very important in August. We have great primaries. We have some great local candidates. We need to get out and get involved in those campaigns. Just a few people can make a huge difference in those elections. And then we all need to get together and we've got to push. And we've got to push very hard. Now, Kansas is a red state, but Barack Obama actually won the third state. Can't let this happen again. And so we need you out. We need you organized. And we need you to start doing things like the Shalaros over here who are going to tell us, you've been to Iowa, you've been to Virginia, where else have you been? South Carolina, Florida, they're going to Tennessee next. But you don't get involved in a presidential race. Go volunteer, go spend a weekend. My daughter went up to Iowa and started making phone calls for Rick Perry. And she made what? How many in a day? Like 200 or something? Too many, yeah. But she made a couple hundred phone calls in a day, and she won the award from Rick Perry. Rick Perry comes up and gives her something he said autograph on the floor. And the autograph is a John Deere baseball. but it's a prized possession in the Colyer household, I can tell you that. But you can do this. You can make a difference in the campaign. Just spending a weekend there. Talk to your friends. Follow Jack's advice on Facebook. But get out and get involved. Because it is too important for us. We've got a lot to do. Help us with our agenda. If we don't, we're going to be stuck with another 4 years. And believe me, it will be more. Thank you very much.